Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin and Cardano. In this video, we're going to take a look at the Bitcoin chart and the Cardano chart, and we can see, if Bitcoin moves down a little bit, most altcoins react quite significantly. Solana again below $100. We talked about it that primarily I would still expect to move down. In the end, it's only, and you can see it just here on CoinMarketCap, it's making a higher low, but still we can see that these altcoins are reacting quite strongly. It's just what it is. The altcoins normally more volatile than Bitcoin, and any Bitcoin move has a significant effect on the altcoins, at least on most of them. So looking at the Bitcoin chart, we are still here in the downtrend. We did see a reaction to the 20-day moving average up here at 39.3K. We talked about it. We then dropped out of the target area again, failed to hold within this ascending broadening wedge, bearish pattern. Again, we talked about it. And yeah, now we made basically a lower low. Again, it is nearly impossible to say now what could be happening now, especially as we are pretty much here on the 4-hour chart on the RSI, just sort of in the middle range. Yes, we are in the bearish range, but it's not like, if you were oversold, overbought, you could make an assumption now that you're going to move up or down from here. It is very hard. As I said, the wave 4 is nearly impossible to predict. It's just best to acknowledge it. The only thing that we can say is that in a wave 4, in which we currently are, in my view, we need to reach this target area here, and we did reach it. It's based on Fibonacci levels, and it did do the minimum it needs to do, and theoretically it could now move down from here. The thing is, it's made now a lower low, and that doesn't necessarily crash that structure here. But what we need to see now to really basically confirm a potential move down next is a lower high. Yeah, at the moment, what I always see is a lower low that could be forming here. But as I said, what I want to see is to be able to confirm basically that we are probably most likely going to see here a little bit more downside. That doesn't mean we go into the wave 5 correction. It just means we could be heading down further. What we could do here now is that, that would be what I would expect primarily now, given that we've made a lower low. But again, that's just an assumption. That's just speculation at this stage, because we are in wave 4 and we really just need to wait for Bitcoin's move within this wave 4 before we can decide what are going to be the next steps. As I said before, it has done the minimum it needs to do in a wave 4 correction. Primarily, I would expect it to still move to 43.3, but that could still mean we have a bit further downside, have a bit further upside. And I updated my S&P 500 Elliott Wave Analysis yesterday as well on my second channel. And again, for that, you can find the link in the description. And for that, I said as well, we are here currently still in an uptrend, which could be related to what Bitcoin is doing. So waiting and expecting to move along with the S&P 500, which it did recently. So further upside first before we see a correction, which will then be coming. And if you're interested in watching that, check out my S&P 500 video. And at some point for that S&P 500, I talked about the next major ABC correction. And that could really be that sell-off for Bitcoin. But it could be, it could be still a month away. That's what we need to understand. And therefore we are here still moving sideways. And it's really taken a while now here, that wave 4. It started basically on the 24th of January, today 3rd of February. But remember how long that wave 4 took here. We didn't really see the next sell-off after a month. So yeah, that can be, and that was a horrible period, I tell you that. It was horrible. But now we are again moving here in some sort of a similar structure. It's a wave 4. It takes long, it's just what it is. On the 1-hour chart, we were oversold. Yeah, therefore we found here some support at the previous low pretty much. But we still made a lower low in the end, because that wick came down lower. Overall, it hasn't lost it yet, but it came down lower. Yeah, that's it's certainly not a higher low anymore. And what we could have started here potentially is an impulse to the downside. So primarily, I would expect a little bit more further downside. We can see a bit of a weakness in the chart after the price just couldn't push through the 38.7K. Overall, guys, it's hard to predict. It's nearly impossible. It all depends on as well, does the price get back into this channel? Yeah, that would be positive. So watch out for this one. And if we break or want to break in, we need to get above 37.6k. Yeah, or yeah, 37.65. Yeah, we want to get in there and retest it on its way down. The thing is, the next key support on its way down is probably around here 35.5. We talked about that before. If you lose that, you're going to see the 33k. That's pretty much the situation here with Bitcoin at the moment. And let's take a look at Cardano, which has moved along with Bitcoin down a little bit. And we can see here that Cardano briefly left that triangle, but again, it's still probably here in this sideways range. And in this sideways range, yeah, we have basically found support here at the low of the triangle at the support, or just outside again. So I think it's just fighting with this support level here. It did come out briefly, yeah, didn't make a lower low though. So that's different to Bitcoin. Try to get back in. I think it's just outside again, especially if I move that a little bit closer to the previous. Yeah, I think it's looking like it's currently outside, but again, it could just mean that overall we just have to move that trend line at a point in time. If that continues to move sideways, and if you're not seeing the volume when there's a breakout, there's hardly anything that really confirms a breakout, right? Because at the moment this wick here is a little bit further down, so depending on what the price does now, I might have to shift that trend line again, and there isn't really any confirmed breakout yet, but I'll definitely keep you updated. That of course would indicate that we're moving down as well a little bit further. I only hope it doesn't take forever, but I always said that I think this whole correction could take throughout Q1, and you know, we are only in February now, so we still have the February and the March for it to play out. And yeah, so far we have to probably just be a little bit patient. And let's take maybe a final look at ADA BTC. But again, also here, the next key support for Cardano would be 96.5 cents. That's the 0.618 FIB level. And if you're losing that, the 92 cent level, if we're losing that, then we can talk about here a possible 55 cent Cardano. I don't think it's very unlikely. I think we could actually see it, depending on how quickly Bitcoin now moves down, as Cardano doesn't seem to be interested in building any more buffer between the price and these lower levels, because that would be what is required if Bitcoin does its final move down to finish the correction off. Then Cardano needs to be a bit higher, otherwise it will fall probably really into this area. But again, if you expect all-time highs after that, that wouldn't be too bad, because I mean, 55 cent Cardano, I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? It's for me, even the current prices are very attractive. ADA BTC also similar picture. ADA did not manage to break back above this trend line. It's just trying to again, but I think it's looking like it's failing. There you can see that it seems to be struggling. At least it's not lost yet, that trend line. I think it's fighting with it. So the bears haven't won, the bulls haven't won. So I'll keep you updated about that one. All right, hopefully you liked the update about Bitcoin and Cardano. If you did, please smash the like button and subscribe. And if you really like the content, and maybe join as a channel member. If you want to do that, to access Discord and Telegram, then you can find a video link in the description to my website, and also to the join possibility on YouTube. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.